Wall Street seems to have taken a fumble when it comes to their belief in Bob Iger and his candidates for CEO of the Disney company. Now they're saying no. But what will happen to the likes of Dana Walden and more? And who will be shored up as the next leader of the House of Mouse? Well, folks, what if we told you that it's none other, perhaps, than the leader of a hated, despised, and reviled gaming company? Full details right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel that is changing hearts and minds simply by telling the truth. A daily dose of what you need to know each and every day, 4 times a day, right here on the Pro Channel. Click the like button, and folks, we're about to tell you something you are unlikely to like, and that is, unfortunately, that Disney appears to be trying to snatch out of the C-suite, well, the CEO of one of the most unlikable companies in the world, Electronic Arts. Yes, I know it's almost unimaginable that Disney could be so densely dumb, but we've got our thumb on the truth, and we're letting it loose right now. We start with breaking news out of the Wall Street Journal. Disney explores wider field of candidates to succeed Iger. Disney board members are considering outsiders, including, and you can't make this up, the CEO of video game company Electronic Arts.
Why not Ubisoft?
This is by Robbie Whelan, Emily Glazer, and Jessica Tunkel. But folks, we have a policy here on the channel that if it's behind a paywall, we don't read it. So Wall Street Journal, sorry, you don't get coverage from us today. Instead, we're going to GameSpot because they're going to say the exact same thing you're going to say as they cover what you say, but they're not behind a paywall. So, sorry, Wall Street Journal. Smart up sometime. This is by Darren Bonthuys. It says EA CEO reportedly in the mix to be the next Disney boss. Jonas, Culture, can anybody explain real quick? You guys know. Why am I laughing as I say that the EA is their next target for a CEO? Why would that make me chuckle?
They're not nice people over there at Electronic.
They're the most hated game studio, I think, is something that Marvin would say. I would say that.
Not even just that. They are consistently voted the most hated company in America.
Yeah, they're not. People are not huge fans of EA. They just gave us this disastrous, garbage-tastic Dragon Age, the Veilguard game through one of their studios.
Let me rephrase the title then.
What's the chances that's the reason why? He really took one for the team and showed the right proper values.
That's exactly right, Andre. Guys, I'm going to adjust the title, okay? I'm going to adjust the title. CEO from the bowels of hell, reportedly in the mix to be the next Disney boss. There we go. We've got it. All right, Andrew Wilson is the CEO. Here's the article, just so everybody hears. Disney is currently looking to find some new blood to succeed longtime CEO Bob Iger. Out of the possible candidates, EA's Andrew Wilson is reportedly being considered for the role. According to the Wall Street Journal, Disney is looking at bringing in external candidates. And folks, we've been telling you that as soon as we saw Gorman come in from Morgan Stanley to lead up that charge to find a CEO, we said it's over. The internals are done. And when Kamala Harris lost, we said, no more Dana. That's the only thing that Dana had going for her. And it's the only job she had to do, whether it was getting 538, whether it was the ABC News debate. Dana Walden was supposed to make sure that Kamala was queen. Didn't happen, so now she's obscenely out the door. So Walden, DeMauro, Pitaro, and Bergman, they're on the outs. EA has also had a long relationship with Disney, as the Star Wars games developed by the company have sold over 52 million copies combined and have generated more than $3 billion in revenue. Currently, Electronic Arts is also working on new Star Wars and Marvel titles like a Star Wars Jedi threequel, Iron Man, and Black Panther games. We'll have more Black Panther news later in the show. All right, panel. You really just can't make this kind of stuff up. It's parody at this point. Thoughts on the idea that Disney has tossed away Dana Walden already, and the articles are out there to let you know that it's okay to talk about it now. Dana's done.
I just wanted to say that in grade school, I got panthered regularly.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're recovering well. So after the panthering that happened to poor Paul, is Disney getting panthered by going to EA to get their next CEO? And by the way, does this create a conflict with Disney having this huge deal and investment in Fortnite and Epic Games?
That's an incredible point, actually. Epic Games. Tim Sweeney is the head of Epic Games right now, and Andrew Wilson. Obviously, not a lot of association between Electronic Arts and Epic Games. I mean, there's some because I don't know if Epic Games titles are listed in the EA games in the Epic Games store. But Disney trying to get into the world of video games, if they actually tried to get into the world of video games, this would be a good way to do it. But they're also not a video game company anywhere. Nowhere in their list of credentials is video game company in that list. They had LucasArts, and they deleted it.
Jonas, Bob Iger, about a year ago, said he found out people are playing these things. It's a big deal.
Someone from Disney Parks and Experiences said, hey, all those kids are playing video games. And he realized, yeah, they are.
He said, you mean they don't all have yachts? They're still playing that Pong thing? Huh. And here we are.
Oh, I guess they moved on from those Looney Tunes, huh?
Marvin, do you think that the CEO of Electronic Arts would be well suited to run the parks?
Well, that depends on which, way you're looking at it. From the perspective of the consumer, absolutely not. He'd be terrible. From the perspective of the Disney C-suite and their proclivities and, where they align politically and socially, yes, because the head of EA is a huge ESG guy. I mean, he's all over the place on this kind of stuff, and he's just going to be more business as usual.
I, for one, look forward to movies with DLC. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right, so let's reframe this, though, okay? Let's not just be completely negative. Let's give Disney something to aim for. Panel, since they're looking for externals, does anyone have a suggestion to please help this wayward mouse find its way back home? Who should they be going after?
They should be going after someone really tough from abroad that doesn't really have any connections. They should be going for an absolute Hatchet Man. Because I think you're looking at a two-stage solution here. One, you need to go and absolutely clean up the rot in the company. So you need a Hatchet Man to do that, to start a rebuilding process. And then once that rebuilding is done, you need someone that can continue a new operation and prepare for regrowth. So I've been all in favor of the idea of getting someone from outside of the Disney ecosystem, because they may know how they do things, but maybe they're not the best to say how they should run things. Maybe you need someone from somewhere else, just in order to see that what they're doing or have been doing for years now is a complete insanity. Now, of course, when I said they need someone from outside of Disney, I didn't mean someone from EA, which is, if anything, even worse. Which only goes to show, hey, you can always misunderstand the best of advice, I guess.
Andre, they could go to Ubisoft next. Don't hold them back.
Yeah, well, who knows? If this doesn't work out, I'm sure that the CEO of Ubisoft will be looking for a new job pretty soon here. So, yeah.
Who's the guy from Activision? What's his name? The guy who was actually incredibly... What's his name?
Bobby Kotick or Kotick?
Yeah, that's who they'll go to next. Really dial in on the guys who have been credibly accused of awful, nasty, terrible things. But Jonas, you said Kevin Mayer, so I've got that up on the screen for you. I've sent this onto the eyeballs of all the people watching. So tell them why you said Kevin Mayer.
Well, Kevin Mayer, and he's not necessarily my ideal solution on all of this. The perfect solution would be Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs together. But for some reason, they've decided that's not going to work. It may be that they don't want to deal with Disney at this point. But Kevin Mayer was the head of strategic planning for Disney for a very long time. He was the mergers and acquisitions guy. Bob Iger said in his book, he's a little too brash to be the CEO, which when you're dealing with someone like Bob Iger, it's fair to say that maybe two people who know that they can do the job well might disagree with each other on who is brash in that situation. He has business sense. He and Tom Staggs have been running Candle Media, which is essentially, I mean, it's essentially a hedge fund for media properties, or a private. What am I looking for?
Well, they're an IP holder that they go out and they acquire various pieces of media and hold them out and produce them if they need to, or they rent them out to others. I mean, the Candle Media has been very successful, roughly, for the two of them and their partnership with Blackstone.
Yeah, and he's essentially just if he's only running Candle Media, then this will be him returning to the role that he probably should have had, 4 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Honestly, he's just about as perfect from a resume standpoint to run the company. I don't know his politics, which is a good thing. And if Tom Staggs came back with him, I would have complete confidence in a return to form, the actual form of Disney from 10, 15 years ago. That coincides with who started ruining things. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: they're in a hard spot, and it's going to be tough to find somebody great. But they can do better than EA. I think that's a baseline that we can say for sure. Now, folks could say, why is it going to be tough? We're about to get to that. I want to give anybody on the panel last comments on this deal with EA. Anybody have any final thoughts before we move on to why things are hard for Disney at this moment?
Even Disney's not this dim, by the way.
I don't think Disney can hire from the outside. It is such a complex company. Even Iger worked under Eisner, I don't know for how many years, but
since the Capital Cities acquisition, if I remember correctly.
I don't know how you can do it without someone without having had at least previous experience. I would go with Bob Chapek, frankly.
That would be the greatest.
There's just no way. I mean, someone from a game company is not going to understand the tentacles of Disney. All the different arms that it, all the different little pots that it's got its arms in. It's not going to be able to grasp. They're not going to be able to grasp that quickly, even if they have good help. They have to find someone from in the internal ranks.
Well, I mean, I could make the case that Marvel achieved its prominence during the reign of Ike Perlmutter, and it fell flat on its face when they got rid of Ike Perlmutter, and Kevin Feige was allowed to spend whatever he wanted to spend on these things now. He's kind of a hatchet guy that would come in there and reshape things. It would never happen in a million years.
All Marvel was movies and merch.
That's
true. It was not Disney. Disney is just an insane beast.
Then if you're looking for somebody with parallel experience, you'd have to go to somebody like Les Moonves or something like that from Viacom. But I don't think that would happen either.
You'd have to go to someone that manages one of the big international parks and who's done amazing there. That's probably what you would need, because I would imagine it's probably easier to be a parks guy to learn the media than to be a media guy who has to learn parks.
Completely agree.
Yeah, but they got rid of her. She used to run the park in France. And, she would have been the perfect path forward if you wanted to bring in a parks person, Andre. And I, for whatever reason, her name is escaping me at the moment, but they got rid of her. She was in line to be the Josh D'Amaro way back when. But we'll set all that aside, and I'll just say I think everybody here is on the right track, but you have to think bigger. You have to find like something massive that has like dozens of divisions. You have to pull that talent from somewhere that has just experience in managing those unwieldy beasts that you're talking about, Andre. There's not a lot of people. There's less than 100 people in the world that would come in and do this job well, and none of them work for Disney, by the way. So, and that's the crazy thing.
That's why you need someone from the outside. You need one of those 100.
Yeah, and you do. And I mean, if you wanted to use a Disney person, a Disney people, Jonas is 100% right. You get Tom Staggs and what's his nuts? I just can't remember his name. Sorry.
Kevin Mayer.
Kevin Mayer. You get those two guys together. You do a co-CEO, just like they do at Netflix. Then you can pretend you're a technology company, even though you're not. And you definitely do not want the EA guy. He's bad. He's bad mojo. You don't want that. You want people A that have some experience in the company, and B, have enough breadth of experience between the two of them. They can handle the media side, the park side, the financial side. They can handle the real estate side. Disney is a multi-headed beast. You need somebody or two somebodies in this case, that can handle the financial side of things and the creative side of things. And that's it. Those are your options. And if you don't do that, if you don't go the path of Disney people, Jay Rasulo would be a third option, of course, in there. But
one more thing, if they bring in Mayer and Staggs, I would recommend that they pay whatever amount it takes to bring John Lasseter back in as at least your senior advisor, consultant, whatever on the creative side. You have to fix this immediately. You got to fix it.
You know, we really hope that you felt this video was satisfactual. We know we had an actual good time participating and communicating with each and every one of you out there listening. It is a great honor. It is a great pleasure, even a responsibility to do this on a daily basis. You give us the dream job we love doing, and for that we can never say thank you enough. There's only one small favor we ask beyond what has already been done, and that is, folks, consider it. That is clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts, because your thoughts do indeed matter, no matter what the mainstream media would otherwise say. Folks, as we say every single time we end these videos, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.